Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So let's go ahead and deep dive into this Jonathan Majors trial. I did a quick little impromptu video yesterday or the day before, what have you, telling you like my personal feelings just off of what was shown in like the news clips and how just jacked up and thrown off this is, how it doesn't make any sense about this man being found guilty of any charge, right? And I said I was going to do a little more research. So what better place to do it than the Daily Mail, which is where I'm on now. And so that's what we're gonna go through. We're gonna go through this Daily Mail. It's a nice little lengthy article, but I don't know if I'm gonna go through it all, but it's some stuff in here that, yeah, we gotta some details in here that we have to touch on. So let's go ahead and get started. Bear with me, you know what I'm saying? Sit back, relax, because fellas, you are going to really need, I don't care what you've seen on TMZ, I don't care what you see on your newscast, CNN, whatever. Fellas, you need to sit down and actually watch the videos and actually read what went on in the courts and the testimony and the evidence that they allowed, so you can understand what this brother's going through. Because bottom line, you have to, number one, be careful who you in a relationship with. Whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage, business, what have you. Because there's some cutthroat, there's some dirty people out there. Smile in your face, cut you off at the neck, stab you in the back at any given moment. Hell, I could say the company I used to work for, I ended up quitting, going to a different company because the supervisor, she was dirty. You know what I'm saying? She was like doing things that made no sense. And you can only come to the conclusion that she was trying to set me up for failure. So I just went ahead and left and went somewhere else, and then come to find out that pretty much a lot of things that I was suspecting were pretty much true or substantiated. Let's say that. But anyway, let's get into Jonathan Majors first. This is from, like I said, dailymail.co.uk, and it says Marvel star Jonathan Majors is found guilty of harassing and assaulting ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari. What the hell is harassing? That's the first thing I want to know. Like I say, look at the videos. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's get into it. Jonathan Majors has been found, and understand that Marvel has dropped him from their roster now because of this guilty verdict, like immediately. So Jonathan Majors has been found guilty of 2 counts of harassment and assault against his ex-girlfriend while being acquitted on 2 other counts. But the actor has hit back, saying he still looks forward to clearing his name. British dancer Grace Jabari, 30, says she suffered excruciating pain when the Marvel movie star struck her in the head and broke her finger in the back of the SUV after she saw a flirty text message from another woman on his phone this year. So even that paragraph, the suggestive language in that paragraph makes no sense. Because what to me that seems like they want you to think is she saw the text, so he beat her. So he beat her because she saw a text. Just sitting there looking and say, "Oh, text message," and just said, "Womp womp." Like, really? Okay. Anyway, Jabari's lawyer, Brittany Henderson, said jurors had delivered "quote unquote" justice by convicting Majors on Monday, and that her client hoped the case would inspire other survivors to speak out. Survivors of what? For Majors, the conviction could spell up to a year behind bars, along with the ruin of his Hollywood career, just as he was about to be tipped for an Oscar for his role in unreleased movie Magazine Dreams. This is where people like Tyler Perry and who else? Oprah. Well, Oprah not gonna do it, but Tyler Perry might not either. But anyone, hell, the directors of all the Detroit movies that be on Temu, anybody who can Netflix movies, anybody who can, hell, himself can produce. Issa Rae can produce your own content and put it out. This is show support because they can see that this is an egregious verdict and outcome. Centering on a troubled bodybuilder, the film was put on hold by Disney in light of the allegations. The entertainment giant must now decide whether to stand by majors or action moving. Like I say, he's been dropped from Disney. Let's continue. It says California-born majors, but I know he went to school out here in DeSoto, or was it Cedar Hill, and graduated high school out here in Texas. California-born Majors 34 graduated from Yale with an acting master's, and he rose to fame after starring in a 2019 independent feature film, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. He went on to perform, and he kind of acts like, he's an actor. Just the way he, conducts himself and the way he acts. Like he's been did some very dramatic theatrical training, which is good. Which is what a lot of the actors need to get, because a lot of them complain that all these roles are going to British-born actors. But what they say is they have more training, in-depth classical training than these American-born actors, and that's why they're getting roles. So they're saying. He went on to perform in HBO's Lovecraft Country, receiving a Primetime Emmy Award nomination before starring as a supervillain Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Universe and Dame Anderson in Creed 3. But his success on the big screen came crashing down in March when he was charged with 4 misdemeanors: assault with intent to cause physical injury, assault recklessly causing physical injury, aggravated harassment, and harassment. Now, I said it before in the video that you can do one. You can be caught in a situation where you do one thing, and if you get charged, they can bring a lot of charges on you. For instance, let's say like you and your woman or you and your man are having a discussion, having an argument, and somebody tried to leave, and you say you're not leaving until we finish talking. Put your hand on the door. Say you don't even touch the person, and they call the police. Police come. You might even did anything, but you could be charged with kidnapping. Simple as that. Something as simple as, no, we're trying to get to the bottom of this, and because you wouldn't let that person leave, you could be charged with kidnapping, which could be what? I don't know, a lot of years in jail. So you got to be careful to understand these laws. That's why we got to get some of our kids, like I say, in the law, you know what I'm saying, in law school, and trying to become lawyers and policemen and getting law enforcement. Because we try to sit here and say we don't like the police, we don't like the judges and stuff, but we don't put ourselves there. Those that are there, a lot of them, y'all want to claim they're tethers, and so they're not really understanding us. But again, what are you doing to put yourself or your kids on the bench somewhere, or in a patrol car somewhere, or behind a lawyer's desk somewhere? If you ain't doing nothing to do that, I don't care what neighborhood you from or what set you and your kids claim. If you ain't putting yourself in those positions, then you ain't got nothing to say. That's what your Italians did. Not Italians, your Irish did back in the day, like in Boston, when they felt they was being mistreated by the police. Or what they do, they joined the squad, and then they started running the police. You can do the same thing. It say jurors were asked to were tasked with examining conflicting narratives about whether Majors was the aggressor or the victim during a chaotic SUV struggle with Jabari in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan on March 25th. They began deliberations on Thursday, and on Monday they reached a guilty verdict for assault recklessly causing physical injury, but not assault with intent to cause physical injury. So the difference in the two is, in this example, is it said he wasn't premeditated that he set out to hurt, or he didn't set out to hurt the woman. It's just that in the melee of everything that she started, she ended up hurt. And so they blamed him for pretty much blaming him for the whole thing. Major's lawyer, Priya Chaudhry, claimed the mix of guilty and not guilty verdicts means jurors did not entirely, quote unquote, believe Jabari's account, and he still hopes to clear his name, which he should. It shouldn't. I think this is more of hopefully this is just more of boy, know your place. We're going to let you off this time, but just understand, you touch that white woman one more time, you ever look at a white woman cross, we're going, you know what I'm saying, something bad gonna really happen to you. Quote, it's clear that the jury did not believe Grace Jabari's story of what happened in the SUV because they found that Mr. Majors did not intentionally cause any injuries to her. We are grateful for that. She said the jury, I think, only had like one black person. We are disappointed, however, that despite not believing Ms. Jabari, the jury nevertheless found that Mr. Majors was somehow reckless while she was attacking him. Y'all remember this trial, was it last year, that Johnny Depp was in with that woman? I don't know who that woman was, but she tried to sue this dude and destroy his career. He lost movie roles, lost all kind of money. So I think he came back and sued her, and when they went to trial, all the evidence showed that she was thrown off, right? Found her guilty of lying, doing a whole bunch of stuff. And that heifer still was in the Aquaman movie. It's past Aquaman. The last couple of Aquaman's movies, she's still in there. They didn't take her out. That's not Marvel, that's DC. But still, she's still in the movies, and nobody said anything. Nobody's protesting or having a hissy fit because she's in the movie. They just let her do what she do. He said Mr. Majors is grateful to God, his family, his friends, and his fans for their love and support during these harrowing 8 months. Mr. Majors still has faith in the process and looks forward to fully clearing his name. But Jabari's lawyer, Brittany Henderson, said justice has been served through Monday's verdict. They say, we are thankful to the jury, the court, and the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for giving this case the time and attention that it merits. That's one thing about being a lawyer I can't understand, is how can you sit up there and bold-faced lie? Feel that you can twist words and turn words and use emotion, knowing that it's all bullcorn to win a case or to get sympathy for your client who is clearly guilty of being thrown out. Today has shown us that no abuser, no matter how powerful they may seem, is above the law. I want people to understand. I don't know. It's the younger generations are going to suffer the most. People act like you can't have a disagreement. Act like you can't fuss. Every now and then you may just yell. Every now and then you may just need to. Here's what you need to do. And it's something I learned from my dad. And I remember he said it. And then, you get in relationships, and relationships will kind of draw you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. And sometimes it needs to be reiterated what your role and what your actions should be. My dad would say, I remember my mom, she used to be a fusser, yeller, get upset about stuff. My dad, I never seen him get upset, like upset. He always stayed calm and cool. He said, man, you don't argue with a woman. I remember one time when I was younger, in my early marriage days, I said, man, I do not understand women. He said, before I could say anything else, he said, man, I've been married to your mama so many odd years, 20-something years. I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now. Basically, all you do is say what you're going to say. Let her say what she's going to say. Say one time and do it. Period. And be about that. Don't argue, don't fuss, don't do nothing. Just go on about your business. Granted, did it. But like I said, over time, some relationships make you do things where you start yelling and fussing and might start throwing stuff around the house and things like that. And then before you know it, you're in trouble. Now, I ain't got no trouble, but I'm just saying, takes you out of your element when you, like I said, when you're dealing with certain people. It can, because over time, it ain't just a one-time thing. Over time, things can break you down. That's why you got to be careful, got to be patient, got to be aware of what's going on in each situation. But these people act like I said, there's no disagreement. Like everything has to be, harmonious, and that's impossible. You're not going to agree all the time, and yes, your woman will know how to say things to trigger you, even if they're not doing it intentionally. They know how to do it. You could be talking all the logic in the world, and they'll say things that's something that's illogical, and it throws you off. Like, how in the heck do you not understand what the heck I'm saying? And it can frustrate you and piss you off. But anyway, my point is, they're acting like people can't get into arguments, or as a man not assert himself. Now, one other recordings that they played in the courtroom was when he told her that he's a great man, that how dare she come in the house drunk. And she said, oh, now you see, and when you hear it, she's like, oh, I know I shouldn't have went out. He's like, no, that ain't what I'm saying. You know, she trying to bait him, like trying to play the victim. You can see it from a mile away. I don't know who was on this jury. I don't know how many women were on this jury and how many beta males or LMNOP guys and girls on this jury, because she tried to make it seem like he said she couldn't go out. And that ain't what he said. He said, look, I'm a great man doing great things. I need you to act like Coretta Scott King, Malcolm X's wife. And that might have been the wrong people to compare a white woman with. But I mean, could have said like Denzel Washington wife, stand in the cut, stand in the background. We don't put our business out there, but you out here acting up, that somebody sees us together, and they see you acting up, drunk, pissy drunk, embarrassing me. That's my livelihood that you screwing with. That's all that's what he was saying. But they are actually allowed this in court, which is crazy because it has nothing to do with what happened that night. But they try to build a case, and usually the judge be like, nah, you can't use old evidence, ain't got nothing to do with tonight. All we talking about is this instance. And that's what you're supposed to do. This instance. Now it'd be different if there's been police call and a record of domestic violence. Then you can bring into court to say, hey, this is what this is, but there is none. Yeah, no abuse, and no matter how powerful is a butt of law, man, whatever. Mr. Barr has shown irrefutable strength and poise while being forced to man, I don't want to hear this bullcorn. Her unwavering resolve, man, whatever. Like I say, these lawyers, man, I'll be ashamed of themselves to even say crap like this. Mr. Barr hopes her action will inspire other survivors to speak out and seek justice. Man, surviving what? The video showed they had a tussle in the backseat. The video showed that tried to push it back into the SUV. Then the video showed that he took off running because he didn't want to deal with her. But she kept chasing him. But she is the victim. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg thanked Jabari for bravely telling her story. Lord have mercy. At the Manhattan's Dead Office, we are committed to centering survivors of being scared of black men in all of our work, he said. That ain't what he said, but The evidence presented throughout the trial illustrated a cycle of psychological and emotional abuse. Psychological and emotional. And escalating patterns of coercion far too common across many intimate partner violence cases we see each day. He didn't say anything about physical. He said psychological and emotional. So now you can be sued for being psychologically emotional abusive. Not physical. But abuse like that is like, what you call it, is based on interpretation. I can fuss at a child or the person, and they can understand it, roll with the punches, and no problems. You fuss at another person or another child, and they get this crying and breaking down and feel like it's the end of the world, and now you're abusive. Today, a jury determined that the pattern of abuse and coercion culminated with Mark Major's assaulting and harassing his girlfriend. We thank the jury for, God, I don't like this. Reading this is, God, this is say he's set to be sentenced on February 6th. It say during the trial, surveillance footage of Majors and Jabbar repeatedly shoving and scuffling in the vehicle on March 25th was shown to the court along with videos, photos, and text messages as evidence of abuse. Their conflict came after Jabbar, now here we go, from reading English, saw a text from a woman called Cleopatra. Was that Megan Jones? Anyway, Megan Good. Anyway, reading, "Wish I was kissing you right now," to her then boyfriend. Jabbar testified that she saw the phone that Majors had sent Cleopatra a D'Angelo song called Lady. Man, he was a fool for putting the phone out. Number one, in the car. What's wrong with these dudes? And then, how the hell she got the phone, saw all that? I don't know. In closing arguments that ended the night before lunch on Thursday, prosecutor said Major struck a blow to his partner's head that left her stunned and in excruciating pain in the backseat of the car. They said that the assault was the latest escalation in Major's repeated attempts to exert control of his girlfriend through both physical and emotional violence, citing a past incident in which he allegedly urged her not to seek medical attention for a head injury because it could lead to an investigation. I think he should have testified because I got a feeling about that, and I'm gonna come back to that in just a second. Major's lawyer claimed that Jabbar was the aggressor and that the driver of the SUV called her psycho girl because she was so out of control, something juries ultimately rejected. How you gonna reject what the driver said? He's sitting right there. His attorney, Priya Chaudhry, said that Jabbar hit him in revenge for discovering the text from another woman. Now, I remember we talked about this when it came to remember Chris Brown's situation. He didn't say much about it, but they said that same thing happened, that Rihanna saw something in his phone, grabbed his phone, went through his phone, got mad, and went off on him, and he was just fighting back. And they never took pictures of Chris Brown, never showed pictures of Chris Brown, see if he had any kind of scratches, any kind of injuries, tore clothes, ripped clothes, stretched clothes, or nothing. They showed Rihanna. Again, Chris Brown's problem was he hit her back. Although he was not, I'm sure he wasn't the aggressor, he hit her back and left bruises. And that's what your problem was. Like, you don't put your hands on nobody. You can hold them. Now, I'm the type of person like that. You can hold them back off of you to get out the car. So let's just say this. Let's say a person is hitting you and you grab them by the wrist, steadily fighting back. Now, you can't hold them lightly because you're trying to keep them from hitting you. So let's say you grab them and you push them up against a wall or up against an SUV, trying to push them back away from it because, if you let them go, they're going to act a fool. So you're trying to push them back in the car and they leave bruise on the wrist. So you telling me that you can go get prosecuted and found guilty of assault because you was defending yourself? I don't give a damn if she was 100 pounds soaking wet. Anybody can hit you. Anybody can get a good hit, a lucky hit in. But in her closing statement, prosecutor Kelly Galloway dismissed the idea that it was a revenge plot to ruin the defendant's life, his career, to take everything away from him. Man, this one was recording you. If she was recording you, she was setting you up. But just that one moment that you slip up and she can actually use it against you. She was just setting you up anyway. So that's a lie. She said the case boiled down to control, domination, manipulation, and abuse, and was a culmination. Why she didn't leave? If it was that bad, she's a dancer. She's worked on different films. She's somebody in Hollywood, trying to come up in Hollywood. She got connections, that, and the third. Why in the hell did she stay? If it was like that, they should go get counseling. They get counseling together. Explain that to me. She's grown. That's one thing I'm not going to, like I said, whatever. I ain't going to feel sorry for her because she was grown up. She could have left. I'm just going to say it like that. If you're going to put that on him like he shouldn't have touched her, but shouldn't try to defend himself, then she could have just left because they both grown. Her emotional testimony, which lasted 4 days, my gosh, it lasted 10 minutes. 4 minutes. Jabbar repeatedly broke down in tears as she described how Major changed after initially being a doting boyfriend. Man, I have seen women cry over lies, being found out, caught lying, and still crying, trying to play the victim. I mean, shedding tears. So just because this heifer shed tears does not mean that she's a victim. Understand that. They said they met in 2021 on the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium while it was filming in London, and within months, Majors began berating Jabari and manipulating her. She told the jury she could have been gone. She whatever, man. She said that Majors mocked her ex-boyfriend and called him embarrassing and became so demanding when she attended the Glastonbury Music Festival in the UK that she came home early. Should have quit. Like I said, should have broke up with him. She came home early, should have packed your bags, left, because the man was so abusive. Talking bad about your ex-boyfriend. Who cares? And maybe you shouldn't be bringing ex-boyfriend up in conversations. In July 2022, Jabari was visiting Majors in Los Angeles when he was filming Magazine Dreams, his Oscar-tipped movie about a troubled bodybuilder when tensions boiled over. She told the jury he exploded, basically. It was a violent temper, full of rage and aggression. He was throwing things, shouting in my face, throwing objects. I was trying to get away from him. Never said that he touched him. You're just upset. Again, you can leave. Just leave. We were in the master bedroom. It started off close to me, and I left to hide a bit and try to use my words to calm him down. Well, like I say, it's been a year since that happened. So like I say, why are you still with the man? In September last year, Major became upset again when Jabari invited a friend back to the house in Hampstead, North London, while he was filming a TV series. Jabari said, if I don't understand why he's upset, then I'm an idiot. Yeah, you are. Who the hell you told you to invite anybody to my house? Shoot, even me now, I don't like people in my house. I don't like strange people coming up in my house. I don't know you. I don't care who you know. I don't care if they're a friend, a boyfriend, or whatever. I don't know these people like that. I don't ever want nobody to come to my house. I don't know who it is. I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. He started calling me alcoholic and I'm embarrassing. Well, the audio showed that you're alcoholic. So what the heck? Why he stayed? I don't understand. And she can't understand she can't understand her assignment. She just dip out. Jabari walked off and Majors came up behind me. She said he told the court he tore my headphones out of my ear and was stamping on them. He started shouting really loudly, better not be in the house when I get home. Really loudly, shouting in my face. Then he turned around and left. Never hit her. Jabari recorded a portion of Majors ranting at her in which he played the jury. Majors could be heard saying, "How dare you," and telling her to be more like Coretta Scott King, the wife of Martin Luther King and Michelle Obama. Major said, "I'm a great man. I'm doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture, for the world, but yet you sleeping with the enemy." He said he needed a woman that supports me, a great woman who would make sacrifices. But yet, because he's saying that you coming home drunk, embarrassing him, sacrifice that alcohol to make y'all better. If y'all trying to become a serious couple and maybe, who knows, getting married, have a family, you need to change your ways. As simple as that. After the fights, Majors would threaten to commit suicide and would say that he had put actions in place to do so. Jabari told the jury, but you ain't had that on tape, right? Whatever. She said, I said, please don't say this. I'm going to have to call for help. I said, I love him so much. What do you mean you put this in motion? Describing the dynamic of the relationship, Jabari said it was confusing because I felt scared of him, but depended on him. I promised him I would never tell anyone what went on. He said they rode back home on March 25th with Major after seeing a play and having dinner. She was taken aback by the text from another woman. She said that he began acting like he'd been called out and refused to show her the phone, so she grabbed it. Okay, cool. She didn't want, hell, no, you ain't touching my phone. I'm a man. I'm like this. If I have my phone and my woman comes to me and accusing me of anything, and she was like, let me see your phone, I'm gonna look at her like she's crazy. I'm gonna say I'm using my phone. She said, no, show me your phone. And she said, show me your phone right now. I'm like, I'm using my phone. When I'm done with it, if you want to get it, get it. But while I'm using it, don't ever ask me for my cell phone. Ever. Anytime I'm asleep, whenever the phone's put down, you want to grab and look at it, go and do it. But while I'm using it, don't do that. I say, because I ain't your kid. You ain't paying my bills and I ain't your kid. If you think I'm doing something, find out. Look and find out. Investigate like most women do. There's no way in hell I would give you my cell phone. Moving her shoulder to the left and pulling her hands down, she told the jury, I really easily grabbed. Now, I easily grabbed it like he wasn't expecting me to take it. I turned away from him. I was trying to see the message and I could see just his home screen. I felt a heavy thud on top of me, but I knew to be the weight of him and try. Man, he should have testified on this. Cause this sounds like bull crap, and they believe this. I felt a heavy thud on top of me, and what I knew was the weight of him and trying to pry the phone out of my fingers, but I was going into protective mode. I curled over and felt him yank my arm. The dude's trying to get his property. You have pretty much basically stole his property. If you reached over and took his phone without him knowing, that's theft. Where's the prosecution in that? Where's the trial for that? Felt him yank my arm. Of course, he's going to try to take his phone back. He told you can't see the phone, put his phone up, and then you went and got it anyway. I doubt you did it easily. I doubt he had his back turned. I'm quite sure y'all sitting next to each other. I'm quite sure you probably tried to reach over and grab that son gun. He was trying to pry the phone out of my hand. When that wasn't successful, he put his arm behind my back, put her right arm behind her back, putting her right arm behind my back. Jabari said Major began peeling her fingers off the phone and was twisting. Why she just didn't give it up? It's his phone, right? If he was being that violent, why didn't you just say, okay, I give up, and let it go? That would have been the end of it. You could have got out the SUV and then y'all could have ended your relationship and call it a day. But no, the onus, everything is on him, which is, again, bull crap. He was trying to make me feel pain. No, he was trying to he trying to make you feel pain to give his phone back. No, he was just trying to get his phone back. I'm trying to make you feel pain. Next, I felt a really hard blow across my head, making a swiping motion over the back right side of my head, probably because you had the phone away from him. So yeah, you're gonna feel it because y'all still moving. That's the thing about when they say unintentional. You'll do things, you're making moves, trying to get to a point. And in the meantime, accidents happen. Unfortunately, accidents happen. So, and yeah, I'm on Jonathan Major's side on this 100%. On every, whatever happens. You put yourself in a situation to snatch my stuff, I'm going to grab it. Now, he wasn't trying to beat you. He wasn't trying to choke you, nothing. He just trying to grab his phone and get your hands off his phone, period. His phone, the one you just stole. She tried to fend Majors off, but she couldn't. The car stopped and they both got out. A surveillance camera captured Majors repeatedly shoving Jabari back in the SUV, then running down the street with her pursuit. Let me tell you why he did this. Let me tell you why he did this. It's hold on, let me finish this. Describing what had happened, Jabari said he was trying to make me stay in the car, trying to push me. My body felt very light in his hand, so it felt just as he was forcing me to stay in the car. He was holding me with his arms. His arms were by my body. He was running away. I couldn't work out why I followed. I wanted to hear literally that morning we're talking about when we're getting married, the names of our children. He's running away instead of saying, actually, I've had an affair. It was silence and bolting out the door. I was really heartbroken. Okay, so I can understand emotion. And that's what I thought. Like when she was running down the street, I know it was emotion, and she wanted to hear. So that let you know that it really wasn't as violent or bad as they try to make it out to be. Like I say, he probably tried to grab the phone and might have twisted her finger. Again, like I said, I had a daughter who fell off a bike and she was moving the arms, everything, but she kept saying it was hurting. And I'm like, girl, okay, you'll be all right. After a while, she kept saying it's hurting. I think after a day. And so I said, okay, took to the doctor and come to find out, they said she had like a hairline fracture or something. But I'm like, but her hands are moving, ain't nothing swollen. No, broke, but that's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? So, but she had like a word cast for a few weeks or whatever. And I felt bad. Trust me, I did. But it's one of the things that, so when they say like her finger was like broken, he trying to peel her fingers off that phone, and who knows, he might have snapped, might have cracked, but he's trying to get his stuff, and she might not have felt it. She might have thought it hurt, but didn't know it was how bad the damage was. But you go do an X-ray, they'll tell you one thing. You think, oh, it just hurt. They go in and say, oh man, he got a hairline fracture, broken in 3 places. Like, really? Like, damn, don't feel like it. But yeah, she followed. She was emotional. She wanted to see if he was cheating or whatever. So I can understand the adrenaline, man. Hell, man, when I was a kid, I remember I had a dirt bike. Man, I keep bringing y'all these stories, right? And I was going around the first day I had it, and my cousin, he'd been having one, and this is my first day having it. So he was going to try to like kind of train me to ride it. So we go around my grandmother's house a few times, you know, just to get the feel of it. We go up down the street, come back, things like that. One time we go around the house, he was like kind of revving up, like, you know, and he going, I do the same thing, not knowing that he's holding the clutch down doing that. So he do it, I'm behind, and I say, and the bike took off on me, like, In front of me was a barbed wire fence. So I did, and I panicked. Legs spread out, panicked. Did the best. Only thing I thought I could think of. Now we're talking about dirt, kind of dirt, gravel, dirt, you know, rocks, leaves, trees, right under the tree. I jumped off the bike and rolled, you know. That's the only thing I could think of doing, jumping off. I saw I had like, still got the scratches on my arm now. So I had like a few scratches on my arm, you know, adrenaline going. You know, put the little peroxide, clean it up, bandage up, everything cool. Back on the bike later. That night I get in the tub and get ready to take a bath. And when I took my shirt off and was washing myself and felt the burn. We're talking about that night. Looked down and had like a cut across my stomach. Didn't even feel it the whole day. That's what I'm saying. It's like sometime in adrenaline's going, emotional going, some things you don't feel. So she might have felt her finger hurting. Probably didn't know she had a scratch behind her ear until after the fact. But again, I'm still 100% with Jonathan Majors on her. She said she felt sad and that everything I knew to be true was not. The jury heard she later went out partying with 3 strangers she met in the street and turned them. Now you can go partying with strangers, but you're accusing your boyfriend of cheating. And returned to Major's apartment in Manhattan. I'm sure if they did any kind of swabs on her genital area or even her mouth, they probably would have found foreign DNA. I'm just saying. Where he found her passed out in the closet the next day. The alcoholism, the drugs, remember? They say photos released by the court show a gash under her right ear, severe bruising to her right middle finger. During a brutal cross-examination by Sergeant Jabari asked to leave the courtroom because she became so upset after being repeatedly shown a police body cam footage. Boy, her lawyer trained her good. The jury appeared uncomfortable at the repeated showing of the footage, with one juror wincing and another putting her head in her hands. Lord have mercy. That's terrible. Charger also questioned Jabari about her drinking, which she said was a constant source of tension with Majors. Shit, I'm telling you, women. Men, they get a certain point in their life, certain maturity and understanding, does not find it cute that their woman drinks. I don't like it. I don't like to see it because it always, to me, it turns them violent or they don't know how to act. I don't like seeing a drunk woman. I just don't. It's a big turn off for me. They said the lawyer said your parents have complained about your drinking, drawing an objection which led to the judge striking her question from the record. Hell, it should be brought up. Hell, it's part of the evidence, right? So why is it not brought up? Major did not testify. The defense called 3 witnesses, including NYPD Detective Ronnie Mayha, who was an officer in the case of Major's cross complaint against Jabari, which he filed in June. That led to her being arrested in October, but the Manhattan DA office declined to pursue the case. Why? Because they ready to get this big black man. They already suing him. Why they gonna sue her? Come on now. During the trial, race was an issue which hovered in the background and occasionally burst into the foreground. During her opening remarks, Sergeant referred to Jabari's fair skin and she got the complexion for protection. And Jamar is a black man who found his girlfriend unconscious in the closet in America, called the police for help. During her closing, he the one who called the police, and he getting found guilty. During the closing statement, she was even more direct and told the jury that prosecutors brought her Jabari's white lies and all her pretty white lies. Sergeant said, if you believe Grace, then despite Jonathan Majors telling her how dangerous it is for a black man to call the police in America, despite that, he beat her badly in a car that was both his own name, and then he called 911 on himself. He feared what happens when a black man in America calls 911 came true. His fear of what happens when a black man called 911 in America came true. And now we're here. As she said, that Majors began dabbing his eyes and he appeared to cry. A theatrical moment. Theatrical, said I use that word theatrical, trying to act like he's acting. Moment that was outdone moments later when Chandra choked up as she addressed the jury and implored them to clear him in court. Majors acted. Now the words they use in this story, although they have a lot of details, I always felt that the Daily Mail leans a certain way. Saying this court, Majors acted with unfailing politeness at all times, kissing his girlfriend Megan Good, who was in the public gallery every day. Remember, they tried to ban her from going to the court? Like, seriously. And her mother, Majors, who is known for being deep. Where his mama at? And his family at? Majors, who is known for being deeply religious, tucked in Charger's chair when she sat down and read the Bible that he brought with him during his breaks. Lord have mercy. Like I said, this is an egregious act of. This is not justice. I don't know what you can call it, but let me say it like this. I can recall a time. There's a story I know where a person, him and his woman got into it, and she was going off. He was staying calm, whatever the case. They fussing back and forth, whatever, but no physical attack. Next thing you know, now he's trying to leave, doing what a man's supposed to do, trying to leave, gonna jump in his car, burn off, till everything calms down. Next thing you know, this woman comes at him with a hammer. Coming at her with a hammer in her hand, motioning as if she was going to hit him. He grabs this young lady by the arms. Now, and his goal is to not to hurt her, but to get her off of him so that he can make an escape. He looks. There's a couch on one side. There's a floor here in the middle. There's a table, like a glass table, right next to that. He felt that, hey, if I push her on the couch, she'll get up too quick before I can hit this door. Not trying to pry the hammer out the hand, not trying to do no physical violence, just trying to get her off balance enough to where he can run out the door, close it, lock it, and get to the car. If not, take off running. If I push it to not going to even think about pushing it to the table, because that table can break. It can be dangerous. She can get cut up. So what he decided to do was see if he could push her right in the middle, try to get her to the floor, push her down to where she hits the floor, maybe kind of hit her tailbone, whatever, to where she's on the ground. And if he can do that, then he can run out. By the time she gets up, he can get in the car and take off. Push to the floor, runs out the back, locks all the doors. Click. You know what I'm saying? Because she's thinking, well, maybe in the heat, while she's trying to do things, she's going to try to turn a knob, whatever. And it's going to take her time to get, whatever. Gets in the car, takes off, goes to his parents' house. Calls. He ain't answering. Next thing you know, he picks up the phone and this woman says that she's at the hospital and the police are looking for you. Like, what? True story. And this person is like, he's like, I'm not going to no police. I'm not finna go to no hospital. What the hell with the police? What you tell the police? Well, I told them this, but this and the third. Well, that's some bullshit crap. Hell no, I ain't going. If they want me, they know where I'm at. And that's it. They can come talk to me. But police never showed up. Don't even know if the girl even went to the hospital. Don't know if it was don't know what it was, but never saw a wristband with it. But the point is, see, stuff like that, you have to be careful, fellas. If you're in relationships with women, I mean, period. And women, I don't want y'all to think of this too, but I'm talking to the fellas today. If you're in a relationship with a woman who's an alcoholic, who can get violent, who can get belligerent, who got no problem with coming at you, yelling, fussing, cussing, might be even throwing something at you, taking your phone, who got the crazy wherewithal to chase you down the street, trying to hear your side of the story. There's somebody you may not need to be with. Somebody who can record conversations to try to catch you up. Now, in Texas, it's illegal to record somebody, they don't know nothing about it. So, if she would have done that, then that could have been thrown out. But New York rules and laws are different. You know, laws are different. It's kind of like, what was that dude, Plexico Burrs, who, well, he, took a gun to a club. I think he messed around and shot himself or something like that. But yeah, shot himself and went to jail. But because you can't have guns in clubs. So, watching too much rap music, too many rap videos. But anyway, yeah, man. People, relationships, understand what they say. When somebody show you who they are the first time, believe it. So, like I said, if she's an alcoholic, you don't want to deal with her. I don't care how pretty she is. I don't care how submissive she is. She's an alcoholic. You don't want them problems. If they do things opposite of what you do, these are not people that you really should be dealing with. Anybody that can be detrimental to your health or your career, you might want to move on and stay away from them. But anyway, that's all I got for that. Like I said, I'm 100% with Jonathan Major. This is some bull crap. Hopefully he appeal. People with some sense get back on that jury or get a good judge and say, man, this is dumb, because you say he didn't assault her intentionally, or her intention, but he assaulted her, but he was getting his stuff back. So basically you're saying that once he had his phone, he had no right to get his phone back. He should have called the police to get his phone back? Who does that? Like, seriously, you're speculating that people know the law, should know the law front and back, but ain't nobody taking no law classes in high school or college. They're not mandated. So let's be real. I mean, if you take a driver license test, they give you a book that tells you all of everything you need to follow. I don't see nobody giving you law books saying you need to follow these on a daily basis. Or this could be deemed as wrong, because I don't think it's deemed as wrong. You snatch something from me, I'm gonna get it back. Period, point blank. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. Got to be careful when you're sleeping with the enemy. But tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.